Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of AFC Northerners. Yeah, Marc, get us started.
Hey, Marc Herman, aka LA Bengal fan on Twitter, repping the fucking Bengals.
Dave Green, Browns guy.
Jay Davis Utah Ravens. That's the most energy I've ever heard you say for that. It's amazing.
Chris Atkins, Steeler Nation. All right, so Marc, I see you guys took another one on the chin here.
Yeah, well, if you notice, I'm wearing a Jeff Blake jersey, and that's not by accident, because watching this week's game was like watching the Bengals of the 90s from the lost decade. We got absolutely outplayed and outcoached in every aspect of the game. Didn't really have a good game plan. We never really committed to stopping Ezekiel Elliott, who averaged nearly 9 yards a carry. I mean, the guy had literally a first down almost every time he touched the ball. And we didn't commit to pressuring Prescott. When we did start pressuring Prescott, which was late in the third quarter, you can see by the play that we actually forced a fumble. It was kind of a Keystone Cops play, but that's what we needed to be doing. Why were we not doing that in the beginning? We did move the ball effectively from our 20 to the Dallas 40, but we self-destructed every time we got to the 40. We had Zeke, our guard, went ahead and had a offside or a false start and then a holding penalty, and all of a sudden we were at a 1st and 25. Every time we got to the 40, we found a way to get ourselves back on our side of the field. 2-3. Worst start since 2010. And just to give you guys an idea of statistics, we were 2 out of 2 in the red zone. We were a respectable 5 of 13 on third down conversions, and we had no turnovers, yet we were never in the game. So I would rather not have, this is where statistics are deceiving, I would rather not have those stats and have a win. The other 4 games we didn't have great stats, and we won half of them. So that's Bengal news.
All right. All right.
Also, I'll say Dak Prescott, who I was a fan of coming into this draft. I think I talked about him in one of our draft episodes. Got the rookie record for passes without an interception against you guys.
Yeah, well, it wasn't against us. We just happened to be the last team on his thing. He built it. He built it for 4 games prior to that. But we did force a fumble on him.
Dave Green, Browns guy.
All right. Team news. We placed Austin Ryder on the IR. We made a waiver claim on guard Jonathan Cooper. We signed wide receiver Mitch Matthews to the practice squad. We promoted quarterback Kevin Hogan, defensive lineman Gabe Wright, who actually had a couple of good weeks for us, the week against Baltimore and the week against Miami. And we waived Anthony Fabiano and Clipboard Jesus.
I love the name though, man. Come on.
On to the game itself. It was a debacle all the way through. On the video last week, I said we had to do a couple of things in order to get a win. And one of them was protect the edges against the rush. Didn't do that as Blunt scored the first touchdown of the game. There was a sweep across to the left side of the line, if I'm not mistaken. Another thing that we have to touch on is the O-line. We've talked about that previously here. And freaking the Kessler injury, that's right here. This video, this shows it. What the hell was Mac looking at, man? The guy came in untouched. I don't understand that. Before the Kessler injury, though, he actually had some pretty decent numbers. He was 5 of 8 for 62 yards and a TD. That TD's right here to Baby Hawk. Great catch, great throw, the whole 9. Kessler's really, really coming along. And the other thing I said that we're going to have to do to win, even though we didn't win, we did limit penalties, 5 for 35, which isn't that bad.
That's actually not bad at all.
That's all I got for the Browns. Fucking, hey, go try though, right?
It's like, God, I really just wanted to see your defensive line get all over Brady.
I wanted that too.
When I saw it tied up early on, I was like, yes.
Did you see how we responded? The Blunt touchdown was, I want to say, their first drive. We immediately came back under Kessler, and the touchdown to Hawkins happened. So we're showing signs that we're able to compete with teams. It's just we're just pieces short. That's all.
Yeah.
I thought you guys had the worst kicking problems until I saw this Monday night game. I saw us going to Tampa Bay. You used a 2nd round pick on this guy?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Wow.
All right, so moving on. Ravens.
What's going on in Baltimore?
So first of all, we signed the guard Vladimir Rukas. Sheldon Price is going to be put on injured reserve, making way for him. Congrats to Justin Forsett for signing with the Lions, dude. I love seeing a good person go to places where other Ravens are. Wow, it's like they got Nada.
Bad teams would be a bad
Also, as far as updates, we're still holding our breath to see what the CJ Mosley injury actually is going to be like. So Ravens at Redskins, Jesus Christ. Okay, why do I keep on having to do this? Why, Marc Trestman? Why you abandoned runs? No wonder you got fired. Okay, so whenever you're watching this clip right here, gotta say, CJ Mosley, stop being cute. And also, I hate this fucking rule. I mean, we were literally having a discussion earlier about the touchback rules. I know it's the rules, but I fucking hate the rule. Special teams, dude, you're acting like you're special and that you should all be wearing helmets and on the short bus. Never, ever, ever let a person get a touchdown or return again, ever. Period. We are currently like 22nd in passing yards, 17th in the rush, and 22 total per game on offense. So we suck. But then, here's the good.
Okay.
Fuck off.
I agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
First of all, here's a clip of T Sizzle's fourth sack, third interception for CJ and TJ West also. T West, man, is looking like a pro. 35-yard run, you can see it right here. Gorgeous. On defense, we're doing all right. Fifth on passing, fourth on the rush, third on yards allowed per game. I mean, our defense isn't bad except for freaking special teams blocking. It was so devastating watching Perriman almost have that ball, that deep ball from Flacco's by inches. But, I mean, rookie, kind of still. He's showing flashes of being able to make difficult catches, so we'll see how that develops. Finally, we fucking fired Trestman. Everybody hop on the Marty morning wave train. But seriously, under Marty, I think that we're going to have a much more balanced offense, smarter, more aggressive play calling. And finally, thoughts is that I would really like a repeat of what happened last season when we lost to the Redskins and then fired our OC. I would like that very much.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of changing coaches mid-season. There's a lot that goes into coaching an NFL team, and I just don't know how you step in while the train's moving and keep it going.
I mean, Marty's been there for 9 years.
Yeah, you're not bringing somebody in from the outside, you're promoting from within.
Yeah.
He's been there for 9 years. He knows already. He was already a offensive call. He's already a West Coast guy. He's already more balanced. Huh?
Don't you backfill for him, though?
No. I think that if anything, it's next man up. It's next man up. Like, I don't feel bad for whenever a dude gets hurt and another guy steps in his place. Like when Sharice Wright was out and Tavon Young stepped up to do what he did, I don't feel bad for Sharice Wright.
All right.
The big change is if you're changing language, scheme, things like that. Yeah. When you promote from within, everything stays the same.
Yeah.
Just, like you said, next man up.
If it is staying the same, that is a bit easier, but not always the case.
I think they're just hoping that, like,
to capture the magic they had on that Super Bowl.
I mean, I'm not putting any money on that, but at the same time, like, if anything gives a Ravens fan hope, I mean, it's
why not?
It's being stupid-stitious.
Yeah.
Here's some
stupid
Ravens
stitious. I like that.
Alright.
I'm using that word again.
Week 5 against the Jets. Steelers came in here and kicked ass. So just like I said, I nailed it last week. 31-13 against the Jets. This was our 25th game against them. We've won 20 of 25 against the Jets, so I'll play them every year if we get a chance. And just some things that happened here. The Jets had 4 penalties. All 4 resulted in first downs for the Steelers. The Steelers had 1 penalty, 10 yards. We are winning. We're playing very disciplined football. Ben came in. He had 4 touchdowns. Does what he always do. 9 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. 9 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks.
I think that's an elite quarterback, unlike what you guys run out.
Yeah, you know what? Right now, I got not like until I see what he does underneath a new offensive.
It's gonna do nothing. The person.
So okay, he set the record for home wins in October. He's 20-1 at home in October. I will take on any of you in October in Pittsburgh.
Not last year. You didn't. Whenever we swept you.
In 2 weeks, you're gonna get New England at home.
Yeah,
so
we'll take that too. So Ben Codes, Sammy Coates, like I said last week again, he is turning into the guy that he replaced Martavis Bryant. He comes in. I said last week he was quietly having a good season because he hadn't scored any touchdowns yet. He was listening. He watched the show. Comes in, scores 2 beautiful touchdowns. He's got this bomb here. I want to say around the 70 or so yard variety. Had another bomb later on in the game. Bell comes in. He's got his 154 yards from scrimmage. And what's interesting is most running backs are judged on their rushing yards. Bell's a different animal. You have to judge him on his yards from scrimmage because he is so effective out of the backfield. That's really part of his game. The outlaw, Jesse James, he really is emerging as our #1 tight end.
Is that because he gets locked up so much?
Guns a-blazing.
Guns a-blazing for Jesse James.
To rest.
He is turned into our #1 tight end. I'm still not that confident in his blocking. That's why we're going to have to do it by committee here for a little while. But really like what I'm seeing here. Defensively, very, very quiet game. I said last week Brandon Marshall was going to beat us for at least 1 or 2. He got his 1. But Ross Cockrell really stepped to the plate, played a hell of a game, and he's really emerging as a good cornerback himself.
All right.
So what's happening this week, Mark? What do you got?
Well, we get Tom Brady back on his first home game since the suspension. So we're on to New England. Not looking forward to this. Belichick's a genius at taking away what you do best. So we have to assume that going into this week, the Dalton to AJ is not going to be available. Hopefully we get Eifert back. I don't know what the status is. So we're basically, this is one I'd love to say, hey, we're going to steal on the road, but getting Brady back for his first home game, it's going to be a tough one. I'd like to just show up and look respectable, have a game plan that keeps the game close and keeps us in the game. And we've got to tackle better. Our offensive and defensive lines got completely outplayed in Dallas last week. That cannot happen again. It cannot. You just cannot get blown away on both sides of the ball. So I would, like I said, I would love to steal this one on the road, but this is one I've got to think that New England's going to take. I got New England, maybe 31-17, and I'd love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong next week, but I see us, coming home to play the Browns at 2-4, which is going to make the next 3 games on our schedule must-win games. We'll have the Browns, we'll have the Redskins in London, and then we have the New York Giants. All 3 winnable games, as long as the team that went to Dallas last week is history, and we get back to the team that we're used to seeing.
What's happening this year compared to last year's team?
Well, they're far from perfect.
No, we are. What's different is our offense just isn't clicking right now. We're missing Eifert a lot. We miss him in the red zone. And we now see that when we had Marvin Jones on the team, with AJ, we had 2 number 1s. So we haven't had that second receiver really emerge. LaFell looked okay last week. He's been adequate and serviceable, but we really haven't had a true number 2 step up. Hopefully, Boyd's been okay, but as we get going, hopefully in the season, somebody will emerge. And having Eifert come in is going to take pressure off of AJ. It's going to take pressure. Bernard's going to have more open passes. That guy's going to make, just like Bell in your offense, it makes a big
That's
impact.
the thing. Like, you guys got rid of, Lewis and Sanu, and
we didn't get rid of them. They left in free agency.
If I'm hearing you right, depth is the problem.
Yeah.
Depth.
Well, on the wide receiver position, and we were hoping that Cody Core and Boyd would step up, and we brought in LaFell. The clicking hasn't happened yet. I think a lot of that has to do with Eifert not being there. I think he solves a lot of problems. But we'll see. That's it. Our offense needs to start clicking. I'd rather see it clicking late in the year, when we can make a run. So,
DGBG, what do you got?
Browns 0-5. We're going to Tennessee. Tennessee's 2-3 overall, 0-2 at home. All right, last week they beat Miami 30-17.
Go Tennessee.
Shut up here. Listen to this shit. Tennessee is 28th in passing, but they are 2nd in the league in rushing. They average 18.
Really?
Yes, they are. They average 18 points a game and give up roughly 20 a game.
DeMarco Murray and Derrick Henry. They want to be a ground and pound.
Offensively, they're led by DeMarco Murray, like Mark just said. He has a total of about 461 yards on the ground, 172 yards in the air, and he has 5 total TDs. For the Brownies, what we're going to need to do again is protect the edges on defense and be stout up the middle. Defensively, they're led by Brian Arakpo. He has 6 sacks on the year, 2 last week. Here's one of the sacks. It's a 4-man rush. He just manhandles the tackle, and boom, done. 9-yard loss. The Browns, what we're going to have to do to counter that, we're going to need the ground game going early, especially Crowell up the middle. We can run on them up the middle. That's easy up there. Then bring on the slant passes. This should help to neutralize Arakpo and take him completely out of the picture. What we do really need to do offensively is avoid McCourty and Cox. Between the 2 of them, 34 tackles, 10 passes deflected, and 4 picks. If we get those slants going,
Yeah.
all right, that will allow us the shuffle passes, the swing passes, which hopefully we can break one out and come out of Tennessee with a win, which I actually think we're going to do. We're getting off the schneid this week, 22-17.
22-17? All right, cool. Rock on. All right, moving on. Ravens versus Giants. We are at MetLife playing the Giants. The bad stuff is that we've got a brand new OC, which means everything is pretty much a question mark on the offense. So far, I mean, Flacco has only averaged 1 touchdown per game, and that's not cool. But then again, that was under Marc Trestman. We'll see whether or not that changes at all. Giants have 4 straight losses, and we're at MetLife, so they're going to fight like they're due. All right, so we got
They're due.
They feel like they're due. They know they're itching. The other thing is that OBJ and Eli finally connected last week for a TD, and with our questions at secondary, you know, whether or not it's Sharice Wright or Tavon Young or whatever have you, we need to keep Odell contained, or else he's just going to blow.
Don't be that breakout game.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to have that. Exactly. The good stuff is that there's lots of injuries on the Giants right now. Their secondary has had like a whole tough time against like the Packers last week. They got a lot of rookies in the game, and we also have the #1 rated safety on PFF with Eric Weddle. He is now #1 rated safety on PFF. We also should see West make that 100-yard mark against this defense, but we also have to see what our O-line shapes up to be in order to make those holes happen. We gave up a lot of passing yards to Kirk Cousins the last game. However, they only got 1 TD, so that's good on our defense, but that also scares me on that pass. Honestly, I expect the defense to have a really good game against the Giants' passing attack. Eli's kind of been all over the place. We'll see how that goes. My prediction, honestly, like with the questions at offensive coordinator, with a lot of like questions about Steve Smith, how he's going to go, I don't know if the Ravens can pull this out because they're playing at MetLife. The Giants may have just caught on fire.
What's the score?
I say 26-14. Giants.
26-14. Giants.
Yeah, I think the Giants might take this one.
And watch Landon Collins. Did anybody see the hit he put on Randall Cobb? That may have sealed the game for Green Bay, but they may have lost Cobb in the concussion protocol. That was a clean hit, but that was he laid up.
And like I know Ravens fans are gonna give me shit for it, but like I'd rather err on the side of caution. I think that I don't know that we can pull this game out.
All right.
All right, so moving on, Steelers.
Steelers taking on the Dolphins. I'm feeling pretty confident about this. I mean, I saw the Dolphins game against Cincy a couple weeks ago. They looked like shit. I mean, Tannehill is just having a very poor season so far.
Honda of quarterbacks.
No, he's a Yugo now.
Quarterbacks.
And by the way, the Dolphins lost to Tennessee last week at home.
Yeah.
It was in Miami, and they lost to Tennessee.
So right now, they just kind of try to revamp their O-line. 11 sacks in the past couple games. I mean, that's cause for concern there. I don't see it getting any better against the Steelers. Rushing defense, they are horrid. They're giving up 150 rushing yards a game. They're only putting up 72. They're getting doubled in rushing yards per game. Again, not going to be easy against the Steelers there. I expect the Dolphins offense to get totally outclassed by the Steelers offense. We'll see what happens here. I think this one's going to be 37-9 Steelers. And just an interesting note here. Thought this was kind of cool.
The Pouncey Brother Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hopefully they don't kiss each other while they're out there. So interesting note.
They'll just wear their Free Hernandez hat.
Ben's quarterback rating.
Well played, sir.
Ben's quarterback rating is the 3rd in the league through 5 games. And the Steelers' power ranking is the 3rd. Tannehill is the third worst QBR. Yeah. And their power ranking is the 3rd worst.
Wow.
The Dolphins are
they're
bottom.
They're 30 for 30.
I would put the Dolphins well below the Browns on the power rankings because the Browns have been in their games, have had chances to win. Outside of the Seattle game in Week 1, I can't think of any game.
They totally
outside of the Seattle game in Week 1, I can't think of any game where the Dolphins actually had a chance to win.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. We're going to get into a mailbag question, and it's just the wrong time to be asking this question.
Yeah, I know.
The question is, what are the odds 3 AFC North teams make the playoffs? Well, I know one team is going to make the playoffs.
Well, there's also comes from one of our Redditors, so thank you very much.
Yes,
Redditors,
thank you very much for the
contributing.
question.
Love this question. So you want to go down the line, chances?
Yeah, well, I think they're very low, and I'm going to tell you why. This division has put 3 teams in, probably more than any other division. But I don't believe it's going to happen this year. Number one, because we've got a lot of those middle-tier teams. They're spread out. You got the Bills, you've got the Raiders, you've got the Chiefs. You know, you've got the Bengals and the Ravens, or all these. You've got the Jets. You've got a lot of middle-tier teams. It's going to be spread out. The 2 wildcard teams are coming from a different division this year. They just are.
What do you think?
All right. What do I think?
Yeah.
I think only one team from this division makes the playoffs, and that's Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Baltimore is going to collapse in the second half, and since he's going to play 500 ball the rest of the way, and well, we're the Browns. Hey, go try.
Yeah, go
I would like to argue with them, but based on the last week, I can't. I don't have any traction to throw anything at.
Exactly.
Bengals, give me traction, please.
Like, yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. Ravens give me traction because with a new OC, like as it stands right now at this very thing, like Ravens, if the play calling gets to be better and it is more balanced and it is more about the run, then yeah, maybe we could pull ourselves around. But I haven't seen anything yet. I'm not going to be the dumbass that makes a comment that says, we're going to go all the way undefeated. Right. That's stupid. Right now it does look like the Steelers are pretty much the team that's going to wind up, and I fucking hate myself for saying that. Okay, so we're moving on.
So, I definitely think the Steelers are going to be the division leaders this year. I would not be surprised to see one of these teams bounce back. I mean, it's still kind of early in the season. We're not halfway through. We haven't had our byes yet.
Yeah.
You know, things tend to happen in that bye week.
That's true.
It can really turn around the rest of your season. You know, Marc, if you guys get Eifert back,
you know what? I said at the beginning of our season that we had one of the toughest starts you could have. 4 of our 6 games are on the road, and they were all 6 games were against playoff caliber teams. So we have the middle of our schedule, but now these are must-win games.
I think the Ravens are just waiting for Trent Richardson to come back.
Yeah,
all right.
He's got a measure for his Hall of Fame jacket.
I can see that.
That was a 3-way measurement.
All right, guys.
All right, so new commenters we have out there. Wireside Widebrow, shouts out to you.
Hey, thank you.
And Jabuzz619. I also want to shout out a couple of my Steeler commenters. Frederico Miranda, E. Bar. Jack Lambert's ball is one of my favorite.
I love that guy, and I hate that guy all at the same time.
And Redover Casual. Thank you guys so much for continuously commenting, sharing the experience with us. I love that. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
No Green the Giant, no nothing but Jesus and
no.
These were Steeler fans.
And what about
Steeler fans?
This is what we're gonna have. It's like each week we only thank the Bengals or Browns or Steelers commented. All right. So
also, really quick, or is it Happy Yom Kippur?
Oh, it's Yom Kippur.
Yom Kippur.
Hey,
Yom Kippur.
Have an easy fast for those of you fasting.
Easy fast. Have an easy fast.
Okay, so where's everybody gonna be?
I will be at 5 Line in Eagle Rock with the Bengals West crowd.
Ooh, that may be interesting. BCBB.
All right, cool. I'm gonna be out with the West Wing, hanging out with those Ravens guys here in LA.
I'm just not sure yet.
You're not?
Early in the week. No, not sure yet.
All right, cool.
Not committing. I might go to 33 Taps though in Hollywood.
All right, rock on. Yeah, that place is not bad.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys, we're going to sign off as we always do. Make sure you'll check us out on Twitter at AFC Northerners, on YouTube. Make sure you comment. Email right there. You see it. AFCNortherners@gmail.com. Hashtag mailbag for the subject line. Subscribe and comment to us here on YouTube. And we will sign off as we always do with Fuck the Patriots. See you next week, guys.
Bye, everybody.